Hey guys, it's Max. Hey Dan, no, it's not Jackson's birthday. It was my 8-year birthday a week and a half ago, and I made that thumbnail. But then I got sick and I didn't even do any content the rest of the day. I had heartburn. I don't know what my deal was. I slept all day. Anyway, but this morning, same thing. I worked till like 3 or 4 last night, and I had a premiere at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:45. So I set my alarm, and I woke up just still missed the premiere. Got to the premiere, and I saw that Rod was there, and I was clearly didn't have my glasses, trying to type "Hey Rod," and the show was getting over. It was only a 9-minute video, and my computer was freezing. I was going "Hey Rod," and by the time I hit enter and it did, the show ended. So I should have just slept in. Um, but anyway, and then so I was too tired to make a new thumbnail, and that was the only one I had that said morning report. So anyway, but no, it's not Jackson's birthday. Jackson's birthday is October 6th. And my birthday is October 15th. So anyway, we'll have other birthdays here coming up, but Jackson's going to be either, I think he's either 4 or 5. What year is it? 2025? I think he's 5. Anyway, I can't believe that. All right. So let's get busy. Anyway, but I'm just dog ass tired. And then after the last report, I went straight back to bed and got up just now, 30 minutes ago. And I'm just dog ass tired. I got my Coke, but I really want to see this Rod interview. Well, hopefully we don't have, hey, kick ass, Dan, you're a Libra also. My whole family's Libra. My mom, my dad, and myself. Anyway, but hopefully we're going to do, we shouldn't have many earnings trades. I just don't want to miss Rod's interview, but let's go to that earnings cheat. I didn't make my earnings cheat sheet this week, but let's just go to one of the publicly available ones. I like the one over here at Spot Gamma, implied earnings move charts. I love this. I wish I could afford to subscribe to this. This Spot Gamma is a good service. All right. So what do we have on deck? We have, let's see, that was this morning. So we have Laser, CoreWeave, and Rigetti. So we'll look at CoreWeave and Rigetti. I've never even heard of Laser. I mean, I think I've heard of it, but I don't know. It has a pretty big implied move. Maybe we should take a look at it. So we'll get in Tasty Trade. I got Tasty Trade ready to go. Let's see here. I can't get my balance stuck out of first gear. The market keeps making new highs, and my balance is stuck at the same level. I've reached a state of equilibrium where I mean, because I need to rebalance. I've needed to rebalance for like a month, and I haven't yet. Anyway, I keep putting it off. But I've just got to stay. But on the other hand, I keep getting more shares because I'm on drip. So, I mean, I think the portfolio's doing better, but I mean, I want to gain some NAV, Anyway, all right. Let's see what's going on today in this one. So Alti's up 9/10, GPTY is 1 point. It's a great day, 1 point. But I just thought I'd be up at least 1%. I'm not even up 1%. I just went to even. I got back to even. I'm up like 0.7% from the time I started, and I just stopped there. And I've been there for like a month. Anyway, I was glad to at least get back to even. I mean, after the rough start I got off to. Anyway, all right. So let's look at old Laser. 16% expected move. Let's see, is it a cheap one? Yeah, $2. Screw that, or to heck with that. Apologize for my language. To heck with that. Laser. What was the other one? Rigetti. All right, $18. This one's perfect. This is why aren't people doing wheels on this? I'm not doing wheels on this because I don't have good luck, and I'm ahead right now, and I'm trying to keep my trading count ahead. Until I see a sure thing, I don't want to play anything. But gosh, this would be a part. It's the price for wheel. It has the volatility for a wheel. Maybe I should start a wheel, and I wouldn't do a wheel. I do the gravy train. Just put on a risk reversal every week. If it goes up, it goes up. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But hopefully it doesn't go down past your barrier. You make the money, take your wife to dinner, easy peasy. Same thing as the will. Will, you're selling puts, and it's a little different. I just don't like the will. I don't like capped upside. All right, so let's look at this. So first of all, skewness, 182, 185. Well, it is a little bit skewness. I mean, 182 to 196. I mean, it's 5% skewness or something. So let's do a, and then we go out here to the one standard deviation is 200. Let's aim for that option. We could sell it and earn 26 bucks right there. If we split the middle, we might get 27 and a half, but we'll just count on 26. Now this does have kind of it's three cents wide there and 2 cents wide there. I guess 5 cents. That's pretty wide because it's just an $18 stock. Be cautious with this. Let's do a skewness trade. Let's try to sell that 20 strike option. Maybe we could even step out here and try to sell this one. Well, the 200 vol. So we're going to buy 183 vol and sell the 200 vol. We could even just do it. You know, a skew trade would be like a, all kinds of ways to do a skew trade. We could buy shares and we could sell an out of the money option. Covered calls the ultimate skew trade. Profits from skew. We could also just do a, let's just do this. We'll do this one a tasty trade because it's easy. Let's just buy at the money. It's cheap. Let's just take a shot on higher prices and let's sell that out of the money. At the money option costs 99 cents. This out of the money option, we get $20 back. So it makes our option only 70 cents, 70 bucks. So figure out how much you have to risk and buy multiple contracts. But we do something like that. It's just a debit spread, a call spread. And not only that, this is a synthetic caller. You could also go out, buy 100 shares of stock and do the covered call. Buy 100 shares of Rigetti, sell that 20 strike option, and then turn around and instead of this 18.5 strike call, buy this 18.5 strike put. Same exact math. Well, except you get a credit. It's a little, the profit loss at the end of the deal is exactly the same. You can take your wife to dinner if you do the covered call. You generate a credit. When you do the debit spread, you put yourself in the same position, but you forego the initial credit, but you may get more later. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that. Let's just put it in option strat so we have a way to measure. But that's a decent way we don't always have to do those crazy butterflies. We just have to find some way to sell that higher premium, right? So we'll just do a bull call spread. I just say buying call spreads. Buy a call spread. All right. Okay. We have to go to the right date here. We're going to sell the at the money. I didn't see which one. I mean, I assume it was the 14.5. This is saying 48 cents. The one I was doing was 99 cents. Is this right? Did I screw something up? Let's go back and look at it. This is Rigetti. Did I not type in Rigetti? I'm on UVIX still. Well, UVIX is a good. We should do another one in UVIX too. I have a feeling that might come in handy. You know, that one I showed this morning might come in handy. All right. So now this one's saying it's $1.69 and Tasty Trade's saying 99 cents. So what is the heck is going on here? Tasty Trade, what are you doing to me? Oh, it's because I chose the 16.5. So I chose one strike in the money. That's fine. Make it a little bit cheaper. Yeah, and the 16 net debit. Net debit $76. There it is. Well, that's not actually right. And were we selling the 21 or 22? We were selling the 20s. All right. Okay, but then as good as Tasty Trade is, and it's the greatest thing in the world, I still think you can do here. You could say, well, man, I'm going to risk $95. If I do hit a big earnings trade, I want more than $300 profit. So you have a couple of choices. You can make the strikes closer together. It lowers your chance, lowers your pop. Now you have $54 chasing 246. That's a 5-bagger. Or you could spread out you could take the 20 a little bit higher, but at some point it's this, you're only getting 20 bucks for this. If you sell the 21, you're only getting 13 bucks. Why not just buy the darn option and forget about the 13 bucks and give yourself unlimited upside? Anyway, so and speaking of that, let's do a hybrid play there. That's not a bad play. That's $100. That's that's not a bad play, and it's a 4-to-1 risk to reward or 1-to-4 or whatever. But let's do it this way. Let's do a 3x4 or something. Or well, hang on. Ratioize it. 3 by, or a 4 by, well, 3 by 2, whatever. It set it, once again, set it to your risk tolerances, but basically the same trade. You're getting 317. Your immediate profit, if it goes to 20, is about a triple. You know, you don't get the 5-bagger like you did on the other trade I showed you. So you sacrifice a little bit immediate. But if something like Rigetti, this might come true. This is a trade they never show you in an option book. Once again, it's just a compound trade. I'm obsessed with compound trades. All this is this. All this is a 2-lot one of these. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then buying an extra out of the money call or whatever. You guys got it. So you just 2 by 3. So we need 3 up here. Well, no, we need 2 by, gosh darn it, 3 by 2. All right, there's your trade. That's a good trade. That's guaranteed to win. That is guaranteed to win. If the market keeps going like it is, I mean, you know, anyway, we'll see. It may not. I saw something yesterday on, I'll tell you guys in a second. Let me try to do one thing at a time. But it's, the dealers are loading up at the higher strikes. It looks like as far as gamma goes, we could have another leg up in this. I mean, the leg up, and I saw this yesterday. The leg up probably already started today. I know you guys like that one show, and I do too, but there's another one out there called Geeks of Finance that is really good also. They have a little free video, 7 to 10 minutes every night, sometimes 15 minutes, absolutely essential. And they cover dealer positioning. Dealer positioning isn't really order flow, but I think it's something you could, or it's not order flow, but it's something else that can be effective. All right, and it's an option bro thing. If you're an option trader, that's the whole deal. It's dealer option positioning that predicts the moves of the market. They say options are the tail that wags the dog. All right, we got 11 minutes here. Let me get serious about this. What else do you guys want to see? There's one other stock. We'll do a little CoreWeave trade maybe. Where is the darn window? Where is the show? There it is. We'll do a little CoreWeave trade, or Coherent has this. Is that today? I hope it's not today. But if it is, I'll do it real quick. Hey, Stead, how are you doing? Stead Flash. Okay. We got Dan, a Libra, just trying to catch up here. Coherent. Okay. Well, the last time Sean corrected me, I tried to give him a trade that was a day old. So let's just check. Let's go to Tasty Trade real quick and see if Coherent makes our minimum requirements to want to mess with. COHR, was it HR? Yeah, Coherent HR. All right. $100, that's fine. All right. You guys know the trick of the little brown bar on the side of Tasty Trade shows you the expected move for this option. And the blue lines show you the 1 standard deviation down, 1 standard deviation up, and then there's a dotted line that's a 2 standard deviation move. Anyway, excuse me. What are we going to, oh yeah, skewness. Okay. At the money's 140, out of the money's 135. So this might set up for some type of risk reversal, because we want to sell something at the money and take that money. And then maybe, so this would not set up for the last kind of trade we did. We would want to do something reverse of that. So we'd want to do a risk reversal. But is earnings today though? I don't want to waste time if earnings isn't today. Yeah, it is. August, does that say 13th? Yeah, it's 13th. It's tomorrow, but it may be before the bell. So I'll do this. I said to do a special request. I'll put it in the comments. Gosh darn it, I got to hurry on this. I'm not even going to look at Tasty Trade. We'll just do it here real quick. All right, so we'll go to the right date. We're going to do maybe it's after the bell tomorrow, and hopefully it's after the bell. Selling a 110, buying a 105. We'll do that twice. That's I mean, just liquidity wise, options strat has its limitations, but I could tell that's liquid. 2 to 7. Hey, Jackson, knock it off. I said knock it off. Jackson. Anyway, whatever. All right. And then add a call out here. That trade right there, the 110-105 trade would take care of some volatility crush. If you get some, it gives you a huge buffer. That's probably your trade. But since there isn't call skew, it's negative call skew. We can go out here. If you wanted to add some upside to it, you could go out here, do this one time. And what delta is that? It's the 8 delta, so it's too low. Let's go to the 20 delta. I always just do the 20 delta. They're as close as you can get. There's the 22 delta. Make sure you get $100. Take your wife to dinner on $900 risk. It's about 12% or 1/9. What's 1/9? It's not 12%. It's like 10%. Well, it's not 10%. It's 1/9 is like 11 or something. Oh, gosh, I used to be good at math. Anyway, all right. I've been sleeping too long. Anyway, that's the trade. There it is. There it is. Save trade. There's your coherent trade. But I'm sorry if I didn't do it in time, but you guys pretty know my strategy. If it has call skew, we do it one way. And if it doesn't, we do it the other way. So I either want to sell the out of the money. If it has call skew, we don't want to do a risk reversal because we're buying that out of the money. So on the call skew trade, we can do just the trade like we did on Rigetti. Just buy something at the money and sell something out of the money. Do a covered call, poor man's covered call, sell that out of the money option. But when you don't have call skew, you can sell the at the money puts like I do closer to the money, and then and then go out and find the 20 delta. Sell the put spread twice, set your risk to reward where you want it. Easy peasy. I'm happy to do them for you, but if you want them done earlier in the day, request them, and I'll try to be better about getting here early. All right, so it's 2:54. We could probably do one more. Let's look. Do we want to do? Isn't there another good one coming out? Let's look. Don't we have another one? Where is that darn page? Right here. So we have Riley, Cisco, Laser, CoreWeave. Oh, CoreWeave. Should we check out CoreWeave real quick? Let's check out CoreWeave. We'll just go straight to here. What was it? CWV, CRW, CoreWeave. All right, let's see what the IV is. The IV is 193. Let's go out of the money. The out of the money IV is 202. I mean, there's a little bit of skew. Anyway, we're running out of time. Let's just do this on CoreWeave. A bull put spread, and yeah, you can tell it's liquid. I can just tell by the way it moves. Illiquid ones won't give you the right risk to reward. You'll have a tiny amount of green compared to how much red you have. Yeah, and you could scoot this away the heck out of there. There's your trade. Takes advantage of all crush, takes your wife to dinner, 790. You make about 25% on your money for a few days, and you just got to pray this freaking thing doesn't drop more than 15%. If you want to, you can add out of the money call wing. That's up to you. But you might have to sell. You want to sell those puts twice, and you might want to scoot them in a little bit closer. Anyway, so this is a shot at earnings. I'll put that in there too. So we have 3 different trades, and back to editor. And here's a neutral one at CoreWeave, and these work well too. Just slap a call butterfly on it, right in the middle. Break the wing. We don't want any risk to the upside. There we have it. That's a neutral. That's only $42 risk. If it doesn't go anywhere, you can make a 10-bagger, and you can make some money as long as it doesn't drop more than 3%. You don't have a huge buffer on this one. But anyway, whatever. But you make a lot of money in the middle. Malcolm, this is the Malcolm in the middle trade. So save trade. Why isn't this saving it as a new trade? Gosh darn it. I think the other trade didn't save. Anyway, whatever. Save trade. Copy link. There's the neutral CoreWeave. I think I got rid of it before I saved that other one. Blocks is blocks. And yes, blocks is freaking amazing. Okay, so there's some earnings trades for you guys. What else do we have to talk about? 256. I need to take a breath. I need to take a drink from my I got a little protein shake, and I got all right. Okay, let's see what's up. Let's see what the market's doing. Why didn't I buy blocks? Why didn't I ever keep my word to myself and rebalance? Gosh, damn. Because I've been wanting to buy blocks for weeks. And then why didn't I get it when it pulled back? And I remember why I did, because I was thinking, oh, no. The market pullback looked bad to me last week. It faked me out. I was like, oh, we're done. I mean, we're going down for August and September. I was thinking, boy, I'm glad I didn't buy blocks. I was thinking, okay, I'm glad I didn't buy blocks. I'll wait for the market to pull back, and then I'll reallocate from that point. Boy, I'm glad I didn't buy blocks at a high. And how smart was that? Gosh, I just need to do it. I just need to do it. All right, so let's see what the heck's going on with the market. What did I say we'd look at? We could look at I love doing these VIX trades. We've already have one on, but we'll see how that does. And I know what I want to look at. Okay, YouTube. These guys may not be as good as Trade Brigade. Trade Brigade is extremely detailed, and he does not miss a beat. I've told you about these guys before. These guys, right off the bottom, they were saying back in April, they were saying people are loading up on the 6,000 strike. I thought they were freaking crazy, but they're doing the same thing again. Yesterday, they're loading at higher numbers. And it doesn't mean that it means people are loading at higher numbers, not necessarily. Here, let me just try to find this. All right, so you guys probably can't hear that. I bet it's not on. But anyway, I'm trying to see the strike, 6,500 strike. There's people loading up. Because there's people loading up, it has the effect. People buying those out of the money options. If the market starts moving up, the dealers will continue to buy shares and will be supportive of the market. It's called dealer position. But anyway, so what I was thinking might be a good pairs trade. They're talking 6,500 in the next couple of weeks. Maybe we could pair that with our, especially the market. You know, we should have done that this morning, but you could pair that with that VIX trade from this morning. You could do something where you aim for that 6,500, maybe a broken wing butterfly for 2 weeks away, and then just put the broken wing butterfly right on top of the SPY strike where they're aiming for, and then at the same time use one of those strategies I showed you this morning, those free hedges, and depending on how you position it, they can be basically free. I like the risk reversal and UVIX the best out of any of them that I showed. But anyway, and then that trade will hopefully break even. If the market keeps going up, that the idea is those trades should cost you money. But if the market goes down, you should make bank on that one. But of course, you're going to lose on your broken wing butterfly. Anyway, but let's look at that 6,500 strike. We'll do it in the morning. The market hasn't moved. It's probably too late to do this. Let's go look at the market. I wanted to talk about that this morning. I love the concept of pairs trading, and am I not sharing the screen? Oh no, I freaked out because as soon as I hear one of those, I'm like Pavlov's dog. I immediately look for this thing right there. As soon as I get that beep, it's usually Tom or SB or BR. Share the screen. But I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we should have done it yesterday. We're already at the 6,500 strike. I mean, that's for day trading. Now, there's a longer term one in the video. Okay, you see, that's the thing. It depends on where they're loading and what expiration. There was one going out 2 weeks, a little bit further in the video, that is higher. But anyway, that kind of stuff, the dealer positioning right now is supportive of the market. It doesn't mean the market can't drop, but it means should the market go up, the conditions are right where dealers will be supporting the rally. Anyway, I guess I got rid of that screen. Well, I'll watch that video tonight and try to find the higher strike. Anyway, okay. So market's closing on the highs. Not much to look at there. Let's just shoot the breeze for a second. All right. Can anyone gauge why SFAL goes up, down, and then way up again? Let's look at SFAL's top 10 holdings and see what the heck they're doing. They've turned into a different fund. They still do that carry trade, I believe, which is where they're selling futures to take advantage of contango. And that's all they used to do. They used to do all carry trade plus one out of the money option just to knock off some of to try to keep them solvent. The problem with these VIX things is they go insolvent because the VIX has so much decay and erosion. They go insolvent. Like UVXY almost went insolvent in Volmageddon back in February of 2018, but they ended up saving it by just taking its leverage down from 2 to 1 or 1 to a half or something. They reduced its leverage, but several of them went insolvent. But they've got smarter. But those ones didn't have any out of the money options, and finally they got smarter, and they're buying out of the money options. But I'm not saying, but still in a bad enough market route, these could still be a problem. Anyway, but these are just short. These little ETPs that do VIX are, not to allocate. They're just for special situations, kind of like that fund hot. That fund hot that I was reviewing last night, I said it was like taking a hit of acid and going skydiving naked. But, if somebody didn't have an options account, maybe after the April low, and a lot of you guys saw the rally coming and have been seeing it for months, and you guys started buying the dip or whatever. A guy could have allocated some to hot, just like you might allocate to TQQQ, and and own it for a month or a week or something in lieu of trading options. But it's just, you just let them do it for you. All right. So what do we have here? So one thing, they've also become fund to funds. They have some AGGH, which is their high yield bond fund, right? AGG is just the bond index, the aggregate bond index, but H is their premium income. So I think that's like an enhanced bond index. Simplify plus upside convexity. That's a cool fund. That's where they own the SPY plus they own out of the money options. So that's supposed to do better in bull markets. Then they also have some QIS. That's Mike Jones's. That's a hedge fund strategy, and not Mike Jones. Mike, what's that guy's name that I like? Mike, whatever his name is. That's his baby, I've heard. That's some kind of quant multi-strat something. Then they also have NBD, whatever that is, Simplified National Muni. Oh, muni bonds, little tax-free action, nothing wrong with that. But then they do have some short VIX futures on leverage or derivatives offset. So then whatever that means, I think that just means it's I'm not sure. And sometimes they've been doing covered calls. I don't see covered calls in their top 10 holdings. I mean, 12% cash. Yeah, look at the money flowing out of this thing after they fixed it. And when did they fix it? They fixed it about, and Victoria did a bad video about it too. Victoria said it was no good anymore or something. Look at all this money flowing out of it. I mean, just the other day. Gosh darn it, Dan, did you sell your stake? There's 48 million missing. One of you guys sold your stakes, didn't you? I can see it. You can't hide these big trades. We can see it in here. Skeptic's a low-key multimillionaire. He has freaking a $30 million portfolio. He's freaking cornering the market on SVOL and SPUT. And I'm just joking. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about that SVOL? Yeah, they do. They have SBAR and XV in it. And those do covered calls, essentially. I mean, barrier options, whatever. Anytime you're selling premium, it's some version of it. I guess you might not call it a covered call, but they're selling premium. So it's a premium selling strategy. Where in the old days, they didn't sell premium directly. They sold VIX futures and counted on contango to make them money. And that seemed to work pretty dang well, right? I mean, I like that strategy. They were the only ones that did that. And, but the new Defiance Fund is going to do the same thing. If you guys like this fall, I would highly encourage you to look at the Defiance Fund. We'll start evaluating the daily trades and seeing what they're doing. Defiance is way, way more transparent. Also, Simplify's a big company. When you go get their daily trades, it's like a 10,000 line spreadsheet. I mean, some of their hedge fund type stuff has 400 positions in it and stuff. But, with Defiance, we can get a handle on it. We can have Jay on the show and talk to him. If I get a chance to ask a question today, maybe I'm not going to ask. I don't know, but trying to think what I want to ask him about. You know what Jay needs to do? And this wasn't my idea. This is somebody else's, somebody in Twitter's. They need to come out with a fund that just owns the underlines in Alti. And that's it. Because they won't incur any more money. They already do the research to buy those stocks. Maybe they just own the underlines in Alti, and it's not maybe a Defiance product, and maybe you own the underlines in Alti double leveraged, or something. It wouldn't be any additional work. Defiance low's leveraged. It could be, but it's basically what hot is. Hot is, I mean, I think it's going to be like an Alti with triple leverage. So, you know, that's why I said in my video also last night, it would make Alti blush. I said it would be like telling your wife you want to marry the babysitter while she's cleaning her pistol. You know, it's going to be a lot of fun. That fun's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's going to be, if you like, what's it called? Not testosterone, but whatever the stuff is where you get excited. If you're addicted to adrenaline, that's going to be an adrenaline junkies fund. Well, there's a lot of people here today. 14. Hey, Thomas, what's up? When SVOL had a simple strategy, it made sense to trade and own. Now it's too many. Yeah. I would be fine with their fund to funds performing, whatever. I'm fine. I trust that those guys know what they're doing, but the performance hasn't been there. It's been all over the plate, you know, all over the yard. So, I mean, I don't really so much have a problem with it if it was still performing like it did. It used to be really steady. And what did it pay? 15, 20%. And it was really steady. Of course, it went down when vol went up, but you kind of expect that, and it was fine. So, yeah, good point, Thomas. Thanks for being here. I haven't seen you around much, but it is summer, and it's getting to be late summer. Not really late, but it's, you want to get in your, I mean, it gets cold up there in the Northeast. You want to get in your summer activity before it's time to head to Florida. All right. Well, what else do we have to talk about? I'm kind of excited about Rod's interview with Mike Coe. So I really don't have much other stuff to talk about. Let's look at I wouldn't mind killing about 5 or 10 more minutes though. Let's look at adrenaline. Well, I just, my senior moments are getting more and more frequent. But also I think I've kind of had anxiety my whole life. I think that's kind of what some of my problems were related to. I was probably trying to self-medicate, but anyway, be that as it may. Also, I noticed that whenever sometimes I get anxious when I'm talking to a crowd or whatever, and I'll struggle for a word, and then it'll be a feedback loop. And then I'll start thinking I sound stupid, and then I can't think of the word, and but I just need to relax. It's fine. It's fine. I definitely don't need to go buy a 6-pack, right? Not that big of a deal. Just a little anxiety, a little struggle for a senior moment. No big deal. All right. High yield technical analysis. Let's get back on path. And then also I make a joke out of it. I always talk about how I weave like Trump does. And Trump does the same thing. Probably lots of people in their 50s or 60s and 70s, you know, kind of weave in and out of different subjects because you think of something and it's interesting. And so, but I have perfected the weave. Anyway, I have not perfected coding yet. It was really making me mad that NVDY for some reason it wasn't picking it up. Let's just run a new top 20 list and let's give this another chance. And I promised we would do the long term, but NVDY should be on the long term one also. In fact, it was number 1 on the long term and number 2 on the short term. So let's just run us a long term list. Oh, there it is. It fixed it. Okay, it's back. So I guess I ran it this morning after you guys left. So anyway, all right. Well, on the long-term list. So this isn't really long-term. This is combining a quarter's performance. And we have the quarter's performance is already factored in on the max factor. So the max factor is 50% of the long-term ranking. The other 50% is just the total return for the year. And you mash those together. But it is longer term compared to the max factor. But these are still trading indexes. But I was trying to put something on here that reflected, you know, there's people that love Coney and Misty. Well, Coney used to be on here, but I was trying to put things on here where maybe a fund's been cold this quarter, but just had great performance overall. Like in XYLD, I'm still kind of upset about that, but whatever. I mean, but that's an example. Hasn't done very well for the quarter. It's pretty darn safe. It has very low volatility. It's how it ranked its way so high. And it had a great total return for the year last year, 13%. I mean, heck, it beat all the Defiance funds that just made 12% and stuff. I mean, you know, it beat a lot of funds. But anyway, Forget about XYLD for now, though. Watch this. We'll just do this. This is what I need to start doing when I disagree with something. Just hide the row. I remember one time remember when I used to do those Defiance spreadsheets, and I was doing them at the same time as Rod, and I was tracking the daily trades, and I cannot get something to come out. It would not come out right. And I would just looked at it, I got mad. And so I finally hid the row so no one could check me and put Rod's number in there. And I hit a row. Anyway, that was a long time. That was when I first getting started. I've got a lot better at spreadsheets since then. All right. So we won't hide the row. XYLD, I guess it could have a place. I mean, a lot of people like that. I just need to depreciate my volatility. I'm overemphasizing lack of volatility, I think. So we'll unhide the row. All right. But anyway, so we have NBDY. YBTC is a good one. And it's an example of the longer term max factor. It isn't on the shorter term one because 6%, for the quarter, there's just better ones out there. 6% and 40% yield doesn't make the top 20. But when you factor in the 77% of for total return last year, it darn sure should be on the list. Why does that say 5? Oh, I guess I did hide. I meant to unhide it. I don't know. I screwed it up. Anyway, whatever. QYLG, I mean, it's a steady one. I mean, small yield, but great NAV return, and 23% for last year out of an index fund without much volatility. I mean, that's pretty dang good. Let's look at that really quick. Let's do a little dividend channel. I mean, I know those funds aren't people's favorites, but I'm just trying to follow the data. The data has them doing pretty well. QYLG. I mean, that's not the worst looking fund. Market's up 17%. It's up 11 over the same time period. If you can live off a 6% yield, or if that's enough, if you could use that as an anchor for other positions. All right. NFLP, boy, that's a good one. Here's an example. It hasn't done well enough this quarter to be on the top 20. In fact, it's flat on the quarter, but 62% last year. That's a good one. SLVO, InFly. I mean, same thing with InFly. Down this quarter, but I mean, 70% for last year. It's still doing pretty dang good. MSFY, Triple QI. I would feel better about my metric if Triple QI were ranked ahead of QILG. I need to look into that. Like I say, I need to just figure something, adjust the metric a little bit. QILD, I mean, that one's all right. JEPQ, that's a good one. SPY-I, those are all good ones right there. IVVW, I was talking to someone the other day that has that one. It does a good job. Look at Fibby. Fibby's a beast. 45% yield, 10% NAV return for the quarter, 40, we'll call it 37% for last year. AIPI, now that one's not doing as well as it used to, right? That one got murdered. It didn't AIPI, or no, AIYY was the one that got murdered. AIP, let's look at this. AIYY. Hey, Thomas, if you're still around, I've been hearing New Jersey's having earthquakes, and I'm guessing it's because of the fracking and over there in, I don't know, Western Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania, whatever. There's some kind of fracking play over there. We had that back in Oklahoma from like 2008. Never felt an earthquake. Then I had like 10 of them in 2 years back during the fracking boom, 2008 to 2013 or something. But I've been hearing Jersey's having some earthquakes. All right. Well, AIYY had a problem, but its underlined is C3AI. AIPI is what, a Rex fund that has AI companies in it or something. So it probably has some AI C3, but it has other stuff also. Well, too bad about AIYY, but these single stock ones are just so dependent on the company. All right, what else do we have on the list? Goop. Goop's a steady one. Steady, balanced, 16% yield, 24% NAV for the quarter. That's on pace to make 100% a year. Google's on a new high. I talked about Google a little bit this morning before I went off on my usual Paul Pelosi rant. And then we have a 22 or 23% return for the past calendar year, or not calendar year, but the past running year. QDTE, that's a really good one. 36% yield, 10% NAV return for the quarter, 26% for last year. Yeah, something's definitely wrong with the metric. And it's the only difference is because I'm factoring in the safety a little bit too much. QDTE all day long should be ahead of QYLG. It has it beat on all three categories. I'll go fix. I promise I really will fix that this time because that's ridiculous. QYLG could have a place. It could have a place. 23% NAV return for a year. That's nothing to sneeze at. But, combine it with the 6% yield, when you can have another one that had 26% and, 50, 60% more yield. Yeah, I need to fix that. Anyway, FTHI, First Trust, that one's been around since 2013, I believe. Let's just run that. Let's run First Trust against XYLD since inception. I do this every once in a while. I may have done it. I don't know if I've done it lately. FTHI, XYLD since inception. Yeah, we go back to 2014. Back there in the innocent times of 2014. Obama was still president. He was a lame duck, though. We're getting ready to have Hillary for our next president. Remember, she thought it was her turn. Anyway, all right. There's these at the money options they do just cost them. 5% total return. That at the money options capping all your upside. I don't know. I guess the downside was, had the market been flat for the past 10 years, 12 years, they would have probably outperformed FTHI. But I bet you anything, if we looked it up, FTHI uses out of the money options. Out of the money options just uncaps a little bit more NAV, which is one of the factors in total return. Okay, so let's look at FTHI. Well, let's look at XYLD against JEPI. They've also been out forever, and I'm sure JEPI spanks it, because JEPI uses the 30 delta or 2% out of the money. I'm not sure which one it is. Those are the ones in the monthly time frame. That's the OG of option trading. Those are the ones that always test out the best, the back test the best, if you care about total return. They don't get the best yield just selling monthly options. You can get more yield going in the weekly or daily. But as far as the 30 delta out of the money, that's the strategy there. That strategy, they're able to pay themselves between 8 and 12%. These used to pay 12%. It depends on volatility over the years. And they're able to catch 9.82% upside. Now, in this one, XYLD caught 8% upside because it's just from 2020, which has been a massive face ripper. It's been a pretty good 5 years, but JEPI caught even more. JEPI is a good one. So I think the long-term list is good. Like I say, at one point, maybe in a year, the long-term list will be the list. If we had to wait a year, we couldn't look at any of these. I hate having two lists. But some people are more active. If you want to be more active, for my brother-in-law's, when I do finally reallocate, I really am going to use the short-term list. And I'm going to use my judgment for like 80% of it. But like I told you guys, I'm going to put 4% of the top 5 in. So not if they're related, but like this, if I did it tomorrow, I would do NBDW, and I just do it once a month. And then as these change, because it's only 4%, it'll make up a portion of the portfolio. But I need some of these in here for total return, some of these single stock, some of these monsters. So I'd probably do NBDW, AMDY, PLTW, or maybe 3% in each of these. And it would be on the top 5, or maybe 2% in the top 10, 20%. And then the other 80% is going to be based on my judgment. I'll have some gold. I'll have some, maybe an inverse, 10 or 15% of the inverse, a bunch of multi, a bunch of GPTY, a bunch of blocks, but then just sprinkle in a little of these. But yeah, so for his, since I want to be more active, I don't want to wait a year. So, I mean, I would use this list. And really, I invented this list. My idea was that I could, I'm going to let you guys go in a second. We have 8 minutes till Rod. My idea was, but the first couple minutes are boring, but I want to hear Mike Coe's. I want to hear them introduce Mike Coe. But my idea was that I would use this short-term list to help inform my decisions. I just wish I would have done it earlier, because PLTW, PLTY have been all over this. NVDW. If I'd done this a month ago, I mean, my gosh, any of these, I probably would have caught some Coney, because Coney was top a month ago, and it would have, it's, but they all can't be winners. I mean, but if it would have been a month ago, it probably been NVDW, Coney, AMD, some type of Palantir. I think we looked at it back when I was starting to do it, and who knows? And OARC might be a good one. I think I'm going to put OARC in next time. I really do have to do that. So the two things I have to do is I have to depreciate the volatility aspect of the max factor. It's overly conservative. The max factor is a panicking. We don't want any panicking. No one ever makes money panicking, right? So I have to do that. And then what was the second thing I had to do? There's something else I have to do. Oh, and I've got to rebalance. I've got to rebalance. Okay, so that's for tomorrow. That is for tomorrow. AIYY is rough. Correct. Okay, let you know when ChatGTP can manage my portfolio for me. Okay. You kind of like CoreWeave. All right. Yeah, I totally agree, Thomas. When it was simple and it just worked. It was simple and it worked. It was like an iPhone. Or when iPhones first came out, they didn't have any features. Androids had more features, but they just worked. I mean, and they, nowadays it's all about the same. Hey, SB, thanks for being here. Okay, let's go watch Rod. I'm even trying to hit a shower really quick. I'm going to jump in the shower and get a hot shower. I literally woke up and did the morning show and then took a nap, and now woke up and I'm doing this. I'm going to go hit a hot shower. 5-minute alarm. Okay, let's get out of here. Go watch Rod. We'll talk about it later. I have consulting tonight at 6, but I'll be around after that in Discord. And I have a new video idea that I'm working on too. So anyway, we'll talk about that stuff later. All right, guys. Well, I'll try to remember to make those 2 changes. I'll fix the max factor, and I'll get my portfolio reallocated and let you know what I do. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thanks, Mark. I'll see you guys later. Thank you to all of you guys for being here.